Hi, I'm Sharon Vaughn, and you're listening to MCO Woe, a podcast giving you a look inside the hearts of the women in our communities, encouraging you to quit comparing and start connecting. On this episode, I'm talking to a woman who truly is a maverick in her circles. She is as fierce as she is friendly and is going to show the world what it looks like to keep aiming for a target despite any obstacles. This is her story. I'm here with my guest, Kenzie Fitzpatrick, and I'm really excited to hear and share with you everything she's got to say about her very young and accomplished life. I think that you're going to be really inspired by her breaking stereotypes and really blazing trails in her specific communities. Kenzie, welcome, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
It's a pleasure, and I would love it if you wouldn't mind, for those people that haven't Instagram stalked you yet, like I did before we met, if you could just share a little bit about yourself and just tell us who you are.
Absolutely. So I go by Maverick Fitzpatrick, and that all started when I started shooting cowboy action shooting. So you have to come up with this cool alias, and I was like, okay, what should I be? Well, my parents blessed me with the initials MMF, or MF for short. So when I submitted MF Judge, they were like, this has a different tone to it. So Maverick was born. On social media, I'm Mav Fitzpatrick. So what I did and do is I started competition shooting in 2014. I joined the Florida State University pistol team. I made the team, no clue how, but I tried out, and from there is really where I got started. So I learned how to reload ammo, a lot of brass picking up at night. I shot with the team a bunch, practiced, and then from there I kind of got into, my first match was the GSSF matches, which is Glock.
Okay.
Started shooting USPSA, steel challenges, cowboy came along. Then we went up to 3-gun, 2-gun, and now it's all about the multi-gun competition. So that's a little bit about what I do.
So for people that don't know, because I still think I'm learning something new every day about this, what's the difference between 2-gun and 3-gun?
Absolutely. It's the shotgun. So 2-gun is a lot easier. People don't have to reload, a shotgun with 2-gun. So it's really easy when you just have mags and pistol rifle. But 3-gun is addicting, y'all. So if you ever have a chance to try it out, get a shotgun caddy, learn how to do those quad and double loads that you see on John Wick movies, it's a lot of fun.
Crazy. It's all, it looks so overwhelming when you see these videos, but it's really interesting. It's a process. It's kind of like anything. And, you do a lot of training to figure out how to do this stuff. How long have you been shooting?
Yeah, so I started as a kid. I grew up going hunting with one of my grandfathers, and then I just grew up shooting with another one. So I've always had that. My dad always taught my brother and I how to shoot. Well, we started with airsoft pistols. We had our, Red Ryder BB guns.
So cool.
Yeah, so it's a family thing for sure. And I used to hunt a lot, but then the competition stuff came way later in life.
And so have you switched gears? Do you not hunt as much now that you're competing and practicing all the time?
Absolutely. Last year, I think I went twice.
So was your time at Florida State, was that your first time competitively shooting?
It's funny. Before I found the team, my dad gave me for my birthday a Glock 17. It's the first pistol I ever owned. Went out and I signed up for a Glock match that was like 2 weeks later. My dad's like, really? 2 weeks later? Shot the match. Then I Googled, because I really didn't know about the pistol team. I Googled FSU pistols, and I found that there was a team. I didn't know universities kind of aligned with firearms because it is so controversial.
Welcome to Florida.
Yeah. So that's where the rest, definitely started. But I did start on my own cold turkey and just went for it.
That's really cool. I think it's really interesting. And I think one of the things that I found interesting when we got to talk last week a little bit was, obviously I kind of knew a lot about you shooting and about your competing and about your brand knowledge, which I think we'll talk about later, because I think it's so impressive how much you know. Whenever I hear people talking about anything, whether it's a vehicle or whether it's a firearm, and you have all these specifications and they all mean something and you actually know what you're saying, I'll be like, okay, let me look at my box again and see what it's called. Oh yeah, that's sometimes people ask me like, oh, what do you shoot? And I have to think about it for a minute because I forget. But it's your mastery, like your acumen for your craft is super impressive. But then I learned that you went to school for marketing, right? So you went to Florida State for marketing and then you got your master's.
Yeah.
So you're this super accomplished competitor. but you're not your stereotypical guns and stuff person. So do you get that a lot when you're out and about in your community?
Yeah, I have two totally different sides to me. Is because if you don't know me, it's not on my LinkedIn. If you are out in the community, you won't think that I'm into this gun stuff. I don't talk about it, again, because it's controversial. But what's really cool is people do know me for my entrepreneurship skills, my marketing skills, my ability to public speak. And then somebody else will always bring up the topic, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. It's kind of cool.
It is kind of. So do you feel like embarrassed sometimes to talk about it? Like if you're not in your specific group?
I'm nervous because, again, I mean, firearms are so controversial, and I don't know where people stand, and people do tend to already assume something about me that they pretty much don't know. And I'm like, oh yeah, don't really talk about it, not really sure how they're going to take it. So
Right. Can you tell me about any times that you've had that happen where you've kind of brought it up and the reaction you got wasn't exactly fun?
yes. Yep. So I used to be on a Pensacola Young Professionals board, and they were great people. There was two people that were actually in local government, and there was a couple of lawyers in the room, and they were just kind of cautious to talk about that kind of aspect. And then one girl was like, oh, we should all have like a team bonding at the range. And then, I see a couple of faces like, yeah, maybe not. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, darn, that would have been fun. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, the other time is I joined a team, and I actually made the change. So I don't know why I listened, but a gentleman asked me to change some of my Facebook headers, my Facebook profile photos, so they weren't so, as he put it, gun tasteful. Because, I mean, he may not be wrong, is when people try and go find me and they see firearms, they're like, what? So
maybe they thought that made you like more one-dimensional, or
yeah.
I get it. Well, it is, I'm sure it's a touchy subject, and you do never know the company you're in, and good for you for being sensitive to what's around you and not just saying, I don't care who's in the room, I'm going to say it loud, say it proud. But it is nice because sometimes people have sensitivities for other reasons, not just political reasons. Sometimes it's personal. So it could be like that with any specific genre of hobby or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us have been through people that we know who have committed suicide with firearms too. It's the easiest, and it hurts. I mean, my friends have done it, so it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, and I'm sure you know someone too. So
yeah, exactly. You just never know the company that you're in. So I admire that about you. It really does make a difference.
Absolutely.
And also helps you gain respect, I'm sure, in your professional community.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah. So do you find that what's no longer a hobby for you, which really is something, tell us about your goals with that, because I know you mentioned that you want to turn it from a hobby into a profession.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my goal is to be sponsored by a top name firearms brand, hopefully some other ones. So like when you think about the whole package, you need a firearm sponsor, probably an ammo sponsor, gear sponsor, all sorts of details that go into what you take to a competition. So hopefully that happens one time. I've been sponsored for like some matches where people will pay my match fees and give me gear and stuff, but I don't have one that I know like for the whole year will be paid for. But when I think about, actually what's really cool is the IPSC World rifle shoot just happened this weekend. The ladies US team won gold. Ashley actually beat Lena for the first time, which was so cool. But I think about those women that are blazing those trails. So I really want to show women that it's not impossible, that you can do it. You can get in the industry. People will build you up, both men and females. So yeah, I hope to turn this into a profession where I'm going to SHOT Show, I'm going to the NRA annual meetings, with a sponsor on my back. That'd be amazing. So.
That is really cool. And you talked a little bit about this, but I mean, I think that it's pretty public common knowledge that there's a certain kind of atmosphere around females in the shooting world. And how do you represent yourself in a way that you don't fall into the trap of selling yourself cosmetically? You're a beautiful person. There's no reason for you to like show more skin, for example, or to, make it about sex, let's just say, and make it really about your skills and your acumen. So first of all, how does that challenge you? And second of all, maybe give us some examples of times that's come up for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't have as high of a following as the women's that are all about the cleavage areas and shorts.
Yeah, I was kind of dancing around how to say that, but it's really, I mean, it's sex sells. And so, it's true.
Absolutely. So yeah, a couple things. So most military and men, they like to, I mean, cuss. You think of Black Rifle Coffee Company too? They probably piss off people every day.
Yeah.
But I don't cuss if I can on my videos or writing out captions. And then I try and represent myself as if I was a young woman who was trying to do better, make a difference. And I know, like those examples I mentioned earlier, Lena and Ashley, I've never seen them badmouth, talk badly, cuss, like, or any of those negative things on social media. And that's the goal. But yeah, so no tight clothes, no short shorts, and
Yeah.
try and do it a little bit differently, which may take a while, but I stand for that. I represent that. So
I think that's really cool. And just not taking the easy way out,
no.
just to advance yourself. It's just, sometimes the hard way really is the better way. You got staying power. I think it's exciting to see you at this stage because you're not exactly just starting out, but you're making really great strides, and you're able to use other skills that you have in your, education and your professional experience to kind of market yourself.
Yeah.
Right. I think what you do is really exciting and again, trailblazing, and really, really proud to get to see it happen. So tell me a little bit about, your passions in life, aside from, I know obviously shooting is a passion and things like that, but what are you passionate about? What drives you? What feeds your soul?
I think I really want to create a place and kind of a better world for my nephews. Like, family is everything. So I have a 4-year-old nephew who I want to make a difference and be able to maybe make it in the firearms industry where I don't have to work so much during the day, where I can spend time with family. I also want to show them that social media has its place when it comes to a positive impact rather than a negative impact, because that is a big deal. So what I'm trying to show is that social platforms can be a place to find information, learn things that you don't know, connect with people who are making a difference if you can cut through that noise. Because now they're probably going to have a phone at 5 years old.
Yes. Crazy.
And then I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. So I work with 1 Million Cups, which is founded by the Kauffman Foundation. And it's this notion that over 1 million cups of coffee ideas are shared in a year. So it's really cool because every week on Wednesday, 9 a.m., 180 communities across the US are meeting to listen to 2 entrepreneurs present their businesses to the community, their community. And their community provides feedback, has them connect with people that they may know. And it's just so powerful. So entrepreneurs are sticking out their necks, doing the things that other people aren't doing. You having an interview at 10 a.m. on a Sunday when you could be spending time with your family, where you're not making money right now. It's like you're doing the things that nobody else is doing, where no one else is watching. I love that. So
I love that, being a part of a community where you are constantly being fed ideas. And, sometimes I would imagine with the organization you're in, you have to be so vulnerable. The people that are a part of this, they're putting like you said, they're putting their necks out there. And sometimes you might receive criticism. Do you think that you have learned a lot about kind of accepting criticism and using it in doing that?
Oh yeah, because I think I see all the time the community is like, well, have you thought of this? Oh, well, this is already here, and it's good because 1 Million Cups gives people a platform to get the feedback that they probably need to hear before they start the business. But yeah, like the people that do present take criticism and then grow from that, they're learning something. So the biggest thing for me is I'm coachable. I want to be coachable. I'm very vulnerable. Even in the shooting world, like yesterday, I couldn't figure out my scope. Someone duct taped a towel to cheek weld for me on my stock. And I was like, oh, okay. And then someone's like, okay, do you know why you should be on this knee? I was like, no, show me. And I want to grow from that. I'm going to learn from everybody around me. So if entrepreneurs will be receptive to those kind of things, their journey is going to be a lot easier.
Love that. And I love that you had that example yesterday, because I'm sure you're in a competition and you almost feel like, okay, I'm here, I should know everything. But then there's a moment you don't, but you're in a part of this community that's willing to say, hey, I'm going to be up against you, but right now I'm going to help you. I like to call it co-opetition.
Absolutely.
It's so universal. I love that saying, like, if one of us makes it, we all make it. There's a piece of the pie for everybody. So that's really neat. I love it.
Borrowed beer yesterday. Trying to think what else. Oh, I gave somebody ammo that they wanted to try out yesterday. It's like, they're my family, and they just want to see me improve, because the whole team does improve. The whole squad gets elevated. We're all helping each other out.
So you said you're coachable, and I like that word. But do you think, other than being coachable, are you a person that is normally good at asking for help when you need it?
Oh yeah. So I've never shot a scope until this year. I was all iron sights. So I'm asking like 12 different people, what scope do I buy? What level of magnification do I need? And I don't have a clue. So it's fun because when I reached out to one of the Alta shooters, John Teague, he was like, okay, you should get this scope. This will be great. We still got to get it formatted to your face. But what's really cool is he's like, just come out, we'll figure it out. I'll help you mount it. Actually, my friend Zach helped me mount it. I
Awesome.
don't know anything, but I know enough to ask questions on what I need to do. So I always ask, and that's the biggest thing is if you can ask, you'll be a lot better.
Yeah, I think that's really, really good advice. That's something that it's taken me a long time in life to learn. So I heard a little bit about your passions and what you do on a daily basis. Do you have a specific, like how do you plan to activate your purpose? How do you plan to take what your passions are and put them into motion?
Absolutely. So last year I only shot about 5 matches. So I set out with a goal of 25 matches in 2019. I don't even know where I'm at. Actually, I should have that number. But I think I shot maybe
Just keep
15 or
focusing on going
20.
forward, right?
Yeah. And I've never done this many in a year ever.
Wow.
So my goal is more matches, a lot more posts. So I never was on a public social media platform. It was always my private platforms. And I realized nobody can really see my tags or hear my voice. So I made the Facebook, the YouTube, Instagram, barely use Twitter, but I made it all, branded it all. And I've been posting constantly, tagging the companies that I'm using their products with, been reaching out to them. And then the other thing is I want to give back. So everything that you do that you're passionate about and that you're kind of in, you should try and find a way to give back, whether it's money, time, resources. So I've been a range officer for maybe 7 matches now, and I'll be a range officer for 3 gun nationals this fall. I'll be a range officer, I just found out 2 days ago, by the way, for USPSA nationals in Frostproof, Florida, a whole week. And then I'll be a chief range officer because I'll be taking my credentials there to move up. So
Wow.
that is so exciting. Yeah.
That's cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And then the other thing is helping others, because when I got started, I have borrowed pistols, I have borrowed gear, I mean, everything, you name it. So one of the things I'm doing is like a carbine match coming up. A couple of my friends wanted to shoot it and they don't have rifles. And I said, you're shooting mine. No excuses. Show up. Let's do this. They're going to borrow all my guns gear. I've probably had 10 friends use my stuff this year. And even when I'm at a match, so the Green Beret Foundation match, I think 6
Yeah.
people use my shotgun.
Oh, wow. In the same match.
In the same match.
You all shot with the same firearm. Okay.
Yeah, they were going to use the ones provided, and they saw me shooting mine. And I had some custom work that I did too. And I'm like, okay, can I borrow? I'm like, yes, please. That's the only one that didn't jam the whole day.
Really? I think those are really cool goals. So when you go and you travel to all these things and you're a range officer, are you compensated for it?
Yeah, so typically we're compensated in a couple different ways. What's really cool is one of the Alabama sectional matches this year, we were given food to eat. We actually had a special dinner for the ROs, and they gave away like 8 guns. I won one of them.
You did? That's so cool.
And it was cool because we all get to bond, and a lot of the sponsors, like, they take care of the ROs. They make sure that we have water, food, whatever. For USPSA Nationals, I'm so excited. They pay for your hotel. They pay for your travel, food, gift, jersey from Techwear, which
Wow, it's a lot of swag.
Oh yeah, and then they're paying for the chief range officer class, and I'm like, yes, 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 yes.
That's amazing. That's what I wondered, because I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of, like, it's already a big time commitment. And even if, like, you're not being like you're breaking even, so to speak, if you're not paying for your travel and stuff like that. But that's, I mean, the time commitment. And then these are just the steps that are getting you to that next phase. That's really exciting.
Nice. Yeah, the range masters typically take care of the ROs because we do work our butts off.
So how do you have a social life with all of the stuff that you're doing?
I try. So I actually am really good at planning. Calendars are my life. And honestly, if you're not on my calendar, probably not going to hang out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love my calendar.
Yeah, it's really cool because in the fall, I've planned out my match schedule, and a lot of shooters do this. They look at the year and they plan out their whole schedule. So I actually will be in a bridal party in January. I'll be a maid or bridesmaid. So I'll be at the bachelorette party this fall, bridal shower this fall. There's been like 3 baby showers this year. I still want to go to 2 football games. I'm trying to think of what else.
Who's your team? Or Florida? Okay. Yeah.
Not Florida, Florida State.
Florida State. I was thinking NFL when you said football games, but then I remembered you're a Seminole, so I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Need not ask. Got it.
Yeah, so I do have social life during the week sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. So do you like a paper calendar or do you use your phone calendar?
Phone. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
me
everything's
too.
digital.
Every once in a while, I think about switching because sometimes I just want to see it all in a big,
Yeah.
paper, but it just never works. I
Just
never keep
dies.
it up. I can put everything on at once, but I may never look at it again.
So
So
funny.
that's really funny. So tell me about, how do you think that you are perceived by other people? And let's just say, because our, we're talking to women, right? And we're talking about women and we're talking about connecting with each other instead of comparing ourselves. So how do you feel like you're judged or perceived by other women?
I feel like in three different ways. So one, definitely been told this a lot, is that I'm a badass.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
oh,
think that's how I described
thank
you.
you. Yeah, which is nice. The second one is always that like unfriendly, kind of cold, because you spend a lot of time with husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, like you name it.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's rubbed me the wrong way a couple of times because again, these guys, like, they're coming out to shoot. I love to shoot. They're helping me. We don't really see each other outside of the gun world for most of them. It's like we see each other at every single match.
mm-hmm.
And like, it is what it is. And then the other times it's just, I get perceived as probably too gun-ho, gun-friendly, gun-obsessed, where it's a negative thing and they automatically assume political views. They automatically assume
Mm-hmm.
who I support, which is not who they typically think of, which is
Right.
surprising. But yeah, so it's like, it's any of the three and you really don't know how it's going to come out.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. And especially, I think that you touched on something for the number two thing,
Mm-hmm.
but so do you find that you get a cold reception from other women that maybe come to attend matches in support of their husbands, boyfriends, fiancés because they see you as some sort of a threat because you're
Oh
part
yeah.
of that world? Okay.
Yeah, and we cut up, we joke, we take squad photos,
Yeah.
and they do watch sometimes, and I try and make friends with everybody because I'm so excited, and I'll actually be the one that typically goes up to them and introduce myself if we're chatting, and I'll be like, "Do you want to shoot a match sometime? Like, do you shoot? Do you
Yeah.
want to? Because you can use my stuff." And I'm kidding. I'm not kidding when it's 50-50. Like, some females are like, "I would love that." Like, to
Right.
not
He
have to
never
go with
invites me to come out to the range, right?
yeah. Or it's like they go with him and I've had actually someone's girlfriend, love her name is Phoebe. She goes, every time Javi goes with me, he'll show me for about 5 minutes, let me shoot, and then the other hour is just him shooting, and she shows up to 9-hour 10-hour day matches, every
Wow.
single match, to support him. And I'm like, girl, you and I just need to go to the range and we'll leave the boys at home.
Yeah.
It just depends on, I guess, how threatened or jealous they are, I guess, of that connection,
Yeah. And I know sometimes I've probably made a transition in my life myself. Sometimes things our insecurities are related to our own personal experiences and they're all about my jealousy of you is all about me and not about you at all.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about something that I'm going through. And so good for you for reaching out your hand and for putting yourself out there and knowing like, hey, look, I'm just a girl. I'm a human being. I'm out here. Like, how about this? How about when I'm on the range, I'm not a girl. I'm a shooter. I'm a competitor. I'm not I'm not a plaything or a distraction. I'm literally here because I want to win. And I think that's awesome. Have you done training for other women?
So I actually am a firearm basic pistol instructor as of this year. That was one of my goals. I forgot
That's
to mention.
exciting. That's exciting.
I got my NRA credentials. I think it was in February or so, and then I've trained. I'm trying to think of how many, at least maybe 10 females now, but they've taken my CCW classes. It was really cool because I got a text the other day saying my friend that took my class just got her CCW permit in the mail.
That's
and
exciting.
I trained.
That's very cool.
Yes.
That's really, really cool.
It was so exciting.
Well, that's cool. And, I love your advice about overcoming perceptions. It's just, if you're going to be your authentic self, then things are going to go the way they're meant to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to let anybody stop me from going to where I like to go. So
yeah. Is there a topic or a conversation that you always avoid with other women?
Always avoid. Ooh, you got me in a good. Oh, I kind of brush it off, but everyone typically asks me, like, are you married? Are you engaged? Is your fiance here? Boyfriend here? And I'm like, nope, I'm just single gal.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it more.
Yeah, no, and that's your prerogative, right? And sometimes it's hard for people to understand that, especially because, we put things out there and they just assume, well, then aren't you going to put everything out there?
Yeah. Oh, and then in the shooting world, you'll love this. Like not a lot of people wear their rings. So I even wear one on my right hand every single day. And it's funny because you can't grip a pistol correctly without pulling it. So I don't think anyone out there, maybe 3 people would actually have their wedding rings on, or else it gets in the way. So we never know.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Is there somebody now, like, let's just take like out of the shooting world, in the shooting world, in school, in growing up, in your local community, is there someone that inspires you or somebody you look up to that you kind of use as a litmus for, traits that you want to embody or things that you want to do, or somebody that you go to when you're just not sure, what direction to go or how to make decisions?
Oh yeah, I think Brendan Souter, 110% is that guy. So he right now runs RPGI, and he was running a lot of matches out in Holt. He's the one that really is responsible for 3 Gun Nation being here. He put the Gulf Coast on the map with starting out a huge match in January. It was incredible. Brendan is brilliant. So he can set up matches, he can run matches, he can train people. I go to him like, hey, what do I do? What pistol should I buy? Hey, I need help with this. Hey, what am I doing wrong? And just in general, like he never has a bad attitude. He never gets angry. I'm sure he does, but like we don't see it. Again, Ashley and Lena are incredible. Lena is sponsored by Sig Sawyer. Ashley's sponsored by Glock. She's, I think, just turned 21 and won her first title at the IPSC World Shoot. Like, these females are incredible and they're so fun. If you look at their Instagram stories, Lena used to talk about how she used to not like Ashley because she didn't know her, and now they're best friends.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, traveling and shooting the world together. I would love to have that female partner that she does, it's different, and it's hard being by yourself for sure.
Yeah, I think that you're on your way. And the more you go to these things, the more you connect with these people, I'm sure that the relationships just get stronger.
Oh yeah. Yesterday, a 16-year-old who works at AA Tactical, I don't know if you know Caitlin. She showed up to shoot her first 2-gun match ever. She was super nervous and she did awesome. I think she was like 4th, but she did the custom stippling on the Glock 19 that was given away. Oh, yeah. She works in a firearm store. She knew more about my Walther PPK than I did. The girl is insanely brilliant. And
how old is she?
She's 16. Like, she is going to crush it, and she's already in the industry. She's got just the greatest bubbly personality, can talk to you forever. She's just going to be another one, I'm waiting
really
for her to blow up and get big.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I love that. So tell me something else about you that we don't know. Something else, maybe like a weird hobby that you have or something that you do to relieve stress other than shooting.
Yeah, I like to read a lot. So it's so funny. I like to read like sci-fi, definitely nonfiction, fiction, biographies. It's just so weird that I'm just that girl that just likes to curl up with a romance novel every now and then.
I love that.
or my favorite book is The Hobbit.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting.
So nerdy.
You went from romance to The Hobbit. I mean, that's total juxtaposition there.
So confusing. So I walk around. I was Spock one year for Christmas, and I'll have the live long and prosper ring on my cell phone. And I don't know if you saw my pistol, but I put the live long and prosper Spock symbol on the top of my Glock.
Oh, funny.
Live long, and then on the other side's or not, because it's a joke. But
oh, I get it.
I brought my nerd life into the shooting world.
That's so fun. I love that. Nerd life.
Yeah.
So are you so you said romance novel. Is it like steamy romance or like historical romance or like Lifetime or Hallmark appropriate romance?
Not a Hallmark. They get steamier when I don't even know it. It's like one of my favorite authors, and she wrote this book called Dublin Street, and it just got it heated up quick. Yeah, and I was like, what? Because I like to travel, and I missed Ireland, so I found this cool book. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's so funny. So you said you went to Ireland?
I did 2 years ago. Actually, like right now, I would have been there 2 years ago. Solo trip, booked a flight like a month in advance, rented the car. I turned 25 2 days before it, and I didn't even know you have to be 25 to rent a car, so thank God.
You had no idea. It just so happened. That's hilarious.
Yep.
So that was brave. You just decided one day I'm going to Ireland, and you did it.
Yep. My family's from there, and I had some family over near Shannon to visit that I hadn't seen since I was a little girl. But yep, booked it, got into Dublin, learned how to drive in Dublin, which is the equivalent of them coming to New York and driving, because left side of the car, left side of the road.
Right.
Like,
Okay. I was going to ask that.
crazy. Yeah. 2 weeks. I went all the way up to Northern Ireland to Belfast. Oh, and I did a Game of Thrones tour. So I read all the books of Game of Thrones. Again, 30. Like,
Okay. Hey,
dressed up.
we've all got our things. So what was your favorite part about that?
I still think seeing the set of Game of Thrones, as funny as that sounds, was amazing. But Galway is incredible. If you ever look up Galway, it has this old like Spanish fort brick structures, like I think 7 of them out there. And I just one day sat in the grass looking out at the water of Galway and just breathing it in by myself. And it's just such a small town. I met another solo traveler there. We had lunch, we had like a brownie later, and I never wanted to leave.
Yeah. Would you ever live overseas?
Yes. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Really. Like if there was like an opportunity, you'd be there.
I would leave. Yeah. Oh, for sure. My friend just up and moved to Germany, to Hamburg, about a month and a half ago. Sold everything. Moves. Yep. I was like, can I come?
Yeah, I know. That's a good friend to have, because then all you need to do is visit and say, okay, you know what? I can do this.
Right. She made it look so easy.
That's awesome. Emily Howe, who I just interviewed last week, she was saying, you go through these things in life where you do things or you see people do things and you always say to yourself, like, I could never do that.
Oh yeah.
But then all of a sudden you see it being done and it becomes possible. And as are like a lot of things that you're doing, I think that a lot of people probably say about themselves, like, oh, I could never do what Kenzie's doing.
Yeah.
I could never go to Ireland by myself. I could never compete with all these men. I could never be so open with they just would think that, but then you are doing these things and making it possible for other people to believe that they can do it. So I think that's really.
Have you ever read Lean In by Cheryl?
Yeah, of course. It's like probably behind me on my bookshelf. It's one I won't give away.
Yeah. We always say like, we can't do it, or we have to prepare for this, or like no, you can, you should. Go.
Exactly. Spend less time talking yourself out of things, more time talking yourself into things. Have you ever had your heart broken?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you care to talk about it?
I don't know if I'm ready yet.
Okay. Are you still healing?
Yeah.
Sure. I understand that. We all go through things. I hope it heals nicely for you. Whatever, what they say, whatever, we're all stronger in the broken places once we heal. So that's a beautiful thing. So I like to go through a little exercise. I think I gave you a little bit of a heads up on this. It's just like an either or situation. So I'm going to give you 2 random things and you can tell me what your choice would be.
Awesome. Okay.
It's really simple. Okay, here we go. Either or, coffee or soda?
Coffee.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Morning or night?
Oh, night.
Beach or mountain?
Mountain.
From a beach girl it comes. Okay.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Growing up on the beach, I guess it makes it easy to crave the opposite, right?
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Good girl. Rain or snow?
Oh, rain, because I've never seen snow.
Prius or pickup?
Oh, pickup.
I feel like I knew the answer to that one.
I was like, I haven't.
Prefer flowers or trees?
Flowers.
What kind?
Probably sunflowers, just like my mother.
That's my favorite kind of flower too.
No way.
I love it.
It's her logo for her flower shop.
So pretty. Oh, she has a flower shop. That's so fun.
That's my flowers, yeah.
Okay, movies or books?
Movies.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Harry Potter.
Would you prefer money or fame?
Ooh, fame.
You can do a lot with that. Sweets or savory?
Savory.
Piercing or tattoo?
Piercing.
Rock music or rap music?
Rock.
That's awesome. That's it for my either or.
Love it.
It's just so fun to see what people, and again, like some things, like I knew the pickup question, I knew the answer to that one, but other ones you just never know. Never, ever know. So, is there anything else that you want to share? Any words of wisdom, especially because I hate to even say like you're a young woman, but you are, and
Yeah.
you've accomplished so much, and you talk about these other 16, 21-year-olds and things like that. And it really is a relative statement to say like what you've accomplished. And some people are, further along in life, and it doesn't matter what stage you're at, whether you're young or old, whether you're changing directions, you can decide to do things whenever you decide to do them, you can do it. But I guess what I would want to know from you is, if there are women of any age, any walk of life that you could give some piece of advice to, what would that be?
Yeah. My biggest thing is connect with the community, because you live and breathe there, and ask questions and get involved however it takes you to start. So, whether that is just showing up and watching something wherever you want to go, or whether that is actually just signing up, booking the flight, taking that risk, buying the thing. Where I'm at was loads different from where I am now, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of baby steps. But if you're consistent, so consistency is key. If you're consistent, you're going to get there. Nobody sees what you do, offline or in the dark or at home. So one of the biggest things like that I've learned is TV more important than my dreams? Is, the drinking more important than waking up at 5 a.m. and shooting that match that I probably need to go to? So it is a little bit of sacrifice and give and take, but I think if you seek for help, ask for help, and try and find that leader or that example, they'd be willing to help you, because I've learned, just ask for help.
That's awesome. And I think I take that away from you today too, myself, is just to remember, if you really want to learn, then you can't do it all on your own.
No. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Team.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, Kenzie, thank you very, very much for joining us, for sharing your knowledge, your story, your expertise with the MCOWO podcast. If you want, you're more than welcome to share how people can find you on social media.
Absolutely. Yeah. At Mav Fitzpatrick on Instagram, and then Maverick Fitzpatrick on Facebook, Maverick Fitzpatrick on YouTube. And then just Kenzie Fitzpatrick if you're that professional on LinkedIn and want to connect. Thank you.
Very cool. It is my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to the MCOWO podcast. To learn more, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Emerald Coast Women, and visit us on the web at mcowo.com. That's www.emcowo.com.